his large hands gentle as he helps me to my feet. "You okay, Sporty?" he asks, concern in his youthful face. I nod, grateful for the giant with a heart to match. As the dust settles, a man from the crowd approaches, his concern etched in the lines of his face. "That was out of line. Are you all right?" he inquires. I shrug, a half-smile playing on my lips. "It's nothing new. It happens all the time," I respond, the amusement in my voice belying the gravity of the situation. He seems taken aback. "Often." "Oh, you'll see. Just wait until the beer garden opens. That's when the real charmers come out," I say, my voice laced with sarcasm as I let out a weary sigh. The weight of the impending chaos is already pressing down on me. His gaze softens with sympathy. "A young lady like you shouldn't have to deal with such things," he remarks. I glance at John, whose protective shadow still lingers nearby. Life's tough, but here, I gesture towards John, I've got people who care. The man, with a well-meaning heart, begins to lecture about the perils of carnival life and the need to have a man in my life. I listen, my smile patient. "I'm not exactly the type of girl a man is looking for," I say, my words laced with an unspoken truth as I raise an eyebrow in quiet defiance. His demeanor shifts, a frown creasing his brow. "Girl, or whatever, you need Jesus," he insists, his tone taking on a preachy edge. As he turns to leave, I call out with a playful yet pointed tone, "Not everyone needs saving." I gave him my middle finger. My farewell gesture, though unseen, speaks volumes of my stance. I sat on the game, nursing my bruises and trying to regain my composure. My dear friend Pixie walked over and joined me. She immediately noticed that something was wrong and asked if I was okay. I couldn't help but chuckle at her concern. "Are you talking about the guy who knocked me down or the one who thinks I'm going to hell just because I don't share my bed with a man?" I asked her. With a mischievous grin, Pixie leaned over and kissed my cheek. "Well, I certainly hope you end up in hell," she joked, "otherwise I'd be all alone." Pixie was always one to use humor to lighten the mood. Pixie has green hair with emerald green eyes. They called her Pixie because she was just 5 feet 2 inches tall and barely weighed 100 pounds. But don't let her small size fool you. She had a big personality and an even bigger heart. Pixie asks me, "Why don't you take your break now before it gets too busy?" "I'll watch your game for you." I make my way to the donut wagon, selling tacos. I'm craving a taco salad. At the taco wagon, there's a girl named Gretchen who joined the carnival a little while ago. Gretchen comes from a wealthy background and seems to be trying to experience a different lifestyle by working with us. She stands out from the crowd with her designer clothes, often in shades of pink, and her exquisite jewelry. However, what catches my attention is her striking appearance. Gretchen's long blonde hair and mesmerizing blue eyes leave me spellbound every time I see her. Every time I talk to her, I get a little nervous and shy. I approach the window of the taco wagon, my heart beating like a drum. Gretchen greets me with a friendly smile and asks what I would like. I feel my face flush as I sheepishly ask for a taco salad. As Gretchen turns around to start making my food, my mind races with possibilities. Maybe I should ask her to come over for drinks tonight, or maybe we could go to the movies together. But the words get stuck in my throat, and anxiety grips me tightly. Gretchen turns back around and asks for the $4.50 payment. I fumble in my pocket for the money, my hand shaking. As I reach my hand across the open window, Gretchen reaches out to take the money from me. Our hands touch, and I feel a soft electric shock that makes my heart skip a beat. She looks into my eyes with a gentle touch, pulling the money from my hand without breaking eye contact. I tell myself that this is the moment that I need to say something. But the words refuse to come out, and I stand there frozen, just staring back at her. Gretchen puts the money in the till, and I feel a deep regret as she turns away. Why didn't I say something? My heart is racing, and it feels like I have golf balls lodged in my throat. As I walk away from the taco wagon, I can't help but wonder what might have been if only I had found the courage to speak up. As I returned to my game, Pixie walked toward me, her excitement palpable. Did you see him? She asked, her eyes wide with anticipation. See who? I questioned, momentarily distracted from my thoughts. Pixie gestured down the midway toward the goblet pitch. The boy who was just at my game, she clarified. I followed her gaze and spotted him, the mysterious figure in the jean jacket. Pixie's words left no room for doubt. Oh my God, Sporty, he was so hot. I want to jump out of my game and gobble him up. Pixie's unabashed desire was both endearing and amusing. Her approach to love involved a blend of physical intimacy and genuine emotion. Meanwhile, my attention returned to Gretchen, the captivating meteorite that had landed in my world. Pixie continued to gush about the cute guy, her eyes fluttering as she recalled the encounter. He could barely talk and kept tripping over his words, she said dreamily, looking up at the sky. It was so magical until Dauber scared the guy away. Deflated, Pixie crossed her arms and sat on the game in a huff. I looked down the midway towards her game, gave her a gentle smack on the leg, and pointed out that she had customers waiting. Oh shit, I'll be right back, she said, rushing off to attend to them. As she left, I found myself lost in thought about Gretchen. I wondered how I could ask her out. I couldn't shake off the feeling that Gretchen might be into me, and even if she wasn't, what if she found the idea of being asked out by another girl weird? I fear being judged and ostracized by my friends. It is so overwhelming. Mama walked by, and she noticed the concern on my face. What's wrong, Sporty? She said, with her gentle voice and wisdom etched into her every word. She was an older native woman, and to all of us, she was Mama. Always there to lend an ear, offer sage advice, and soothe our worries. I gestured toward the taco wagon where Gretchen was diligently working. Still working up the courage to ask her, huh? I nodded in response. Sporty, she said, her fingers gently threading through my hair. You possess more courage than most of the men out here. With a soft touch, she lifted my chin, urging me to meet her eyes. What is the worst that can happen? If she says no? I couldn't help but chuckle sarcastically. No, Mama, it's a lot worse than that. I took a deep breath, contemplating whether to share my tale. Have I ever told you the story about Kimmy and Sarah? Mama settled into the seat next to me, her hands enveloping mine. No, sweetie, she said softly, tell me. And so I began, a story of love, loss, and the fragile threads that bind us all. Growing up, my best friend Kimmy was my constant companion. She lived next door, and we would have sleepovers all the time. I grew fond of Kimmy, and one night at a sleepover, I took a chance and leaned over to kiss her. From that moment on, I knew that I liked girls. However, Kimmy was a devout Christian, so we knew we could never be together. One day, I was deeply attracted to one of our classmates, and Kimmy encouraged me to ask her. I was nervous, but I finally mustered the courage to do it. Unfortunately, the girl said no and told the school about my advances. When I confronted my schoolmates about it, Kimmy denied ever kissing me or having any feelings for me, leaving me to feel embarrassed and hurt. To make matters worse, Kimmy's parents convinced my parents that I needed a Christian intervention to get the demons out. It wasn't long after that when I ran away and found solace in a Carnival. Even to this day, my parents refuse to talk to me about what happened. As Mama embraced me, she put her delicate arms around my head and pulled it towards her chest. Her warm embrace immediately made me feel safe and secure. She then spoke in a soft, reassuring tone, "My darling girl, don't worry. The Carnival is no small town in the middle of nowhere. Here, everybody's got a story, and nobody throws rocks because we all live in glass houses." Her words of encouragement resonated with me, and I couldn't help but feel grateful for having such a wise and caring person in my life. "Thank you, Mama," I whispered back, feeling a sense of relief wash over me.